one of the challenges of working at the Jackson Foundation that I have happily embraced for these 25 years is that Senator Jackson lived in a different time, and it was a different world. And yet my challenge, our challenge as an entity, was to make his work relevant for today and for tomorrow. And interestingly enough, of course, so many of the issues that he worked on were prescient, are important today, will be important tomorrow. But it's always key to be reinventing the legacy, thinking about the values, thinking about how to make that work vital and innovative today. When I came to the foundation, I had expertise on U.S.-Soviet relations and on human rights, and even on a very important part of Senator Jackson's human rights legacy, the Jackson-Vanik Amendment. So it has been important to me that we have been able to keep our eye on what has gone on in Russia these last 25 years, focusing on human rights, focusing on rule of law, focusing on what we had hoped would be the development of democracy there. Many looked away, but we were able to continue our work there and leverage other resources for that work. And I think that is part of the Jackson tradition of staying the course, even when something is less trendy. So many years after Senator Jackson's passing, we have come to understand that he still stands for something today, and his values and principles are still very relevant for today's young people. And it's for that reason that we created the Jackson Leadership Fellows Program, and I'm very, very proud to have been engaged in the development of that successful program. The young leaders that we work with are stimulating and invigorating and keep us all engaged. And I am just so happy to see them taking up the mantle of public service and community engagement and doing wonderful things out there in our community and in our nation. This is not a solo effort here at the foundation, and it certainly wasn't for me. I'm so honored to have been part of a broader group of wonderful and experienced staff members. And we had such a wonderful time working together on so many issues, but also sharing each other's lives and joys and sorrows over the years, that is certainly one of the things that I will treasure. And in addition to that, working with so many board members together on this really collaborative effort toward excellence. When I became executive director of the Jackson Foundation, I was a young leader myself, and I have benefited from being able to work with many, many people who worked closely or knew Senator Jackson well, and I learned from them about the high standard of ethics and integrity that he stood for, and that has really shaped my view of him and of the world and of the work that we do, and I hope that I have lived up to that very high Jackson standard.